Good morning. We are going to do some strong Hatha yoga now. Now this class will be very difficult for those that are struggling on ankles or hips. This has a lot of strength conditioning for knees, hips and back, but we will also start from the waist up to strengthen shoulders, elbows and arms. So these positions will be held for 1 minute on each, but we will warm you up first. So the first thing we're going to do is work from the upper body, so taking the legs nice and wide on your mat, feet facing me. We're going to then turn the feet out to the corners of the mat so the heels are securely down. Then when ready, drawing the tummy muscles in and the abs in, breathe out to bring the arms up and hold the stretch, pulling here and in the shoulders, and breathe out. Now breathing in, take the hands together to Namaste and stretch into Tandasana just from the waist to the arms with the legs open. Then slightly bend and hold again for 2 breaths only. Each breath drawing in from your nose and mouth to feel the stretch from the lungs and to allow enough oxygen to travel around the body and to the brain. Exhale to center and repeat again. In breath to side and hold for 2 breaths. Coming out of this, exhale, come down, bend through the knees, repeat everything again. In breath to stretch. So again, upper body and arm stretch, 2 breaths to hold. In through the nose and out through your mouth. And again. Now, lateral bend, side for 2 breaths. Remember, it's just the waist and upper arms doing the strong holding here. No work on the heels, ankles or knees, they're staying still. Come to center and exhale. Then inhale and lean again. 2 breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feel the stretch from the waist to the shoulders, yes? Nice work. Then go back to center. Exhale, come down. Now this stretching will really help your back. If you're suffering with the lower back, and great for the shoulders, we go again. Exhale, side, lateral side bend, 2 breaths, in and out. Remember, thrusting the pelvis forwards, squeeze the glute muscles and your pelvic floor muscles in, then exhale to center and repeat to the other side. And then exhale again, coming down towards the mats. Now, rather than coming up this time, stretch the hands to the side. Flex through the palms of the hands into what we call a flag shape. Now rotate through your hips, side to side, releasing the back from the stretches you've done, but also to feel the work in the glute muscles and the knees as you swing side to side. Now that we're warm, we're ready for upper body work. Bring the feet slightly further forwards and make a fist with the hands. On your next in-breath, rotate through the shoulder and lift the arm and hold. So you'll feel the work down the arm muscles in the back of the arm and other way. Exhale and back. Repeat again. Now forward and back for 6 on each shoulder. This is just to work the rotary cuff muscles. There are 4 of these that travel in towards the glenohumeral joints. So here as you move the shoulders, you'll feel those rotary cuff muscles working together to move that joint. 2 more. Now bring the arms down and circle the shoulders back for 6. Again, working through upper body, shoulders, and again, the rotary cuff muscles. From here, bring the hands to your hips and lean to one side and lean further, keeping both knees straight. In and out breaths to hold, and then we go lower, feeling the work through the hip and into your waistline. The leg here as well, taking the weight, we go further over. We're going to hold here for 2 breaths. Again, strengthening lower back and upper body, but you will feel the pressure underneath the legs into your adductor muscles and at the back. We're going to go again. So feel the stretch here now in the center of the lower back and inside leg. Exhale to center. Get comfortable, we go to the other side. So nice deep breath. Make sure the hip is thrusting towards me and that you're not leaning backwards. If I was in the room, I'd be pushing the center of your back. Exhale and go lower. Inhale. Exhale and go lower. Now, just working on the arms, bring the legs in slightly, but still feet traveling to the corners of the mats. Draw one hand in front of you and into a half, get to Masana, bring elbow to elbow and then wrap the hands together. I just want you to do arms today on this eagle pose so that we can work on the shoulder. And we're going to lift up the elbow. Notice here that my elbows are in line with my shoulders. So if you don't have a mirror to hand, just look down and check where your arms are sitting. Always concentrate on the stretch between the shoulders in this position. And again, we're holding for 1 minute, so we're going to feel a stretch and a soreness between the shoulder blades. In this position, thrust the hips forwards and lift the shoulders or the elbows a little higher. Now, you won't be able to see me because your arms should be directly in front of your eye line. So we feel the stretch, we work across the shoulder muscles. Fantastic if you have a problem with a rotary cuff muscle, problem with the tendon, or that you can't get flexion in the arm or shoulder. We're going to go up higher. Notice here now my elbows are in line with my shoulders, yes? So you need to check that you can do that. Still thrusting forwards on the hips, feeling the work from the shoulders. Now relax them. They're going to feel a little heavy, yes? This shoulder doing most of the work. We're going to take this arm underneath this time, on top, so the other arm underneath, and we're going to bring it up again. Hold in this position again, you'll feel the shoulder work in the top shoulder. Just for 2 breaths, then swap them over. So repeating the last shoulder exercise and then back again. We're going to do 2 of those on each side before we hold the position. And again. Now stay here. And again, we're going to work through 1 minute, working with the other arm. And we're going to lift it up. So the other arm that you haven't used should be now on top, and feel the shoulder here on the right shoulder. And then we're going to come up a little higher. Still thrusting with my pelvis. I can feel my glute muscles squeezing together. I can't see you because my hands and wrists are in my eye line. So remember where your arms should be. Don't forget your breathing. And then lift up a little higher. Just focusing on the shoulders. Fantastic if your shoulders are sore or if you're stressed. 2 more breaths here. I'm going to drop the arms because they're going to feel really heavy and give them a shake. Now, still working on the shoulders and arms, I'm going to encourage one arm towards you, pushing through the shoulders, push towards me, yes? But don't push the hip. Keep that hip back, shoulder forwards. I'll stress that again, push the hip back. Because then you're going to encourage the deltoids to stretch without moving the hips. Notice my hips are staying still. Now straighten the elbow and pull across with the other hand. I'm going to hold that for 1 minute as well. Really good stretch for the shoulders and upper arm body work. Feeling all the muscles in between the bicep and triceps there as you lengthen. Just remember actually a little bit of biology here. The bicep means 2, tricep means 3, and those muscles work together around the smaller muscles in the arms. And these build quite happily and strong if you were to do exercises like this every day or add weight or resistance to them. We're going to relax the arm and repeat on the other arm. So pull back on the shoulder first, hip pulls back, then exaggerate the shoulder forwards to me, a little further, that's it. Relax the other shoulder down, I can see the other one coming up, pull down, nice, now take it over, encourage the hand to go towards the top of the arm, now straighten the elbow and encourage it further, don't move the hip, hip stays back, think about how you're moving. We're going to hold that position and we're going to stretch a little further, so you're drawing your arm towards the chest but the hip's not moving. Now hold there for 2 more breaths. Now draw the hands, palms facing down, together, again in line here, the hands with the shoulders, and breathe in to stretch back. Now lift the arms. You should feel stretch again on the trapezius. Great for upper body work and for strengthening. Now can we go further back? Hold here with palms facing down, stretching your pectoral muscles. Now thrust the pelvis towards me. I don't need to explain that one, do I? Now, notice the elbows shouldn't be here or here. Remember the shoulders and the elbows are in line. Can you see that alignment? If you can't see yourself, maybe try in front of a mirror so you can check what you're doing. Maybe do that after if you're watching me at the minute. Draw a deep breath in and pull back on the elbows. Now feel the stretch. This pushing the rhomboid muscles between the scapulars together. So now we really work on upper body. Shoulders should be getting tired, maybe even pins and needles in the fingers. We're going to pull back again, hold for 2 breaths. Now bring the arms down and roll the shoulders forwards to release the work on the trapezius and rotary cuff muscles. Here now working on knees and working into lower body, we're going to open the legs again a little wider and toes to the corners of the mats. Now draw a deep breath in, straighten the body and slide down towards the calf. Now I just want to show you this from the side. I see this a lot in my classes. First thing people do is drop the bottom, tuck it in, pull everything tight, then go to a side bend. If you do it like this, pain in the back. Think about what you're doing with the opposite hip. I'm going to show you from here. So we go to the side, thrusting forwards, and then I can go a little lower, but you'll feel it here and in the lower back, and of course on top there of the thigh. Great for the shoulders, so I'm going to go lower. You might be able to be careful you don't start moving the hip. Again, if I was in your class, I'll be poking you in the back to thrust the hip forwards. Alignment is vital if you don't want an injury. Nice work. Now you should be aching. Again, strong yoga means we're going to hold everything for at least a minute. So we're going to draw a deep breath in and go lower. Now if you're holding and you want to count in your head, obviously you can count to 60, then you know you've got your minute. Alternatively, the breaths work out to 10 to 12 deep breaths for that whole minute, depending on your breath going in and out and the amount of breathing slowly that you do. A lot of people pant. So remember, I need a diaphragmatic breath. So it's coming from here. And we're going to go lower. So 30 seconds in, you should feel a tremble on the legs, a little bit in the back there. Watch this hip and hold that position. Can you feel that on the tops of the leg? You may feel it more so here on your adductor muscle. Now, can you thrust this hip forwards as well, working to strengthen the leg and back? Now come up and recover for 2 breaths by turning the feet out and bending through your knees. Now this will release the knees as well. Great for strengthening poorly knees. Now I know there's a few of you watching this morning that have a knee problem. So some of these exercises may be beneficial to you, but don't hold them for a minute. Go to 30 seconds, maybe swap and go back. So repeat again on the other side, thrusting forwards on the hip. So I'm going to slide slowly towards the calf. Remember what I said about this hip or the opposite side, thrusting it forwards and hold. Now if the neck feels really heavy, you can let the head go to follow the shoulders. So if it's hurting here, especially from the upper body work you've already done this morning. Remember, Hatha yoga isn't all about holding the positions and moving from one to the other. It's about targeting the muscles in each position. So try not to rush it and think of that breath or counting in your head. Going lower. Now I learnt very differently to how I teach. I was taught to teach breaths, but in my head I'm still counting to 60 to remember they're in my head. I've got to focus. Have you ever gone for an injection? Quite honestly, recently loads of us are doing that. And I don't like needles, so I count to 60, see if I can get it over and done with. Usually it's in and out in about 5 seconds. Lower and ready, but allowing that brain to count to 60 distracts you from the needle. And this is kind of what we're doing here. You're thinking, ow, this is really hurting. But it's actually good because me yakking is distracting you. And come up. Feel that here, yes? Now rotate through the hips, nice and slowly. Can you feel the lower back? Now reverse the other way. Oh, that feels so good on my spine. But what I want you to do now is just bend through the knees like we did on the other side. So lateral side bends will prepare us, which is where we're going next. So although our body is nice and warm now and we've gone into arms and shoulders and hips, we now work on strength. So your left arm is going to go towards a block or the floor. Now if you don't have a block at home, you may want a pillow, but it may slip. So think about what you're putting your hand on. Turn now the left foot towards the block if you have one and go down to the block. Notice here I've bent my knee. Yeah, allow that to happen. And then balance the back leg up and then straighten both legs. Now some of you will be able to bring that leg higher. Don't worry if you can't, even a right angle is great. My other arm now is going to go balancing to the ceiling, opposite to the one doing all the work. Now keep the head facing me. This prevents you going dizzy, but maybe you can lift the leg when you feel strong enough. Now this is to strengthen knees, bottom and quads. Those that don't go dizzy, and keep breathing, we're going to turn the head slowly to the back hand. Now if you find you're wobbling, keep the head looking at me. We're going to hold this position in half moon pose for a minute. We've already been there 30 seconds, so you haven't got too long to wait. Think of balancing skills, keep breathing. Believe me, this is far harder talking and teaching and trying to concentrate than it is for you watching, so don't forget to breathe and count. Deeper the breaths, easier you'll overcome it. Ten seconds. Now to come out of this, we're going to bring both hands down to the block or the floor and stretch the legs away and work into a pedal pusher to stretch and lengthen the heels and the legs. This is the quickest way to release the knees and stop them locking. Then I'm going to drop my head to look towards the heels coming down. I do this in my normal classes, so if you're familiar with how I teach and you've done these before, really good for hamstrings and calves this is. Keep pushing through one heel at a time. Now remember as well, if you have poorly wrists, then you can draw the feet down to the floor and then make a fist with the hands. This might make it easier for you. I'm going to stay here, I'm going to draw my head through my elbows. Can you see that? Stretching fully on the hamstrings. Stay in there for 1 minute, we've done 30 seconds. If you find it hard here, don't forget to bring your heels down, or you might want to travel further away, which is an advancement here or progression, and then look towards the ankles here. Still trying to get the heels down. Now if the heels won't go down, use the block you were just using to balance on to take under the heels. Don't forget to breathe in. Now I'm going to walk my feet towards my hands and I'm going to come up slowly. Bend through the knees and straighten the back. Now I'm going to turn so my back is facing you to get the other hand. By all means choose the other hand ready to do half moon pose. So again, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to turn my left foot to the side. You've done your right one first, if not other leg, whichever one you're on. And then draw a deep breath in. I'm going to find my balance first. Bend through the knee. Thrust in this hip backwards. This leg's going to come up. Balance again. Reach for the block. Find your balance. Use your hand to balance you. Notice there I just touch my radiator just to find my balance. Now this might be a weaker leg, so remember, watch the knee if it is sore. Bring the leg up when ready, and then for those that can, turn the head to the hand. Hold for a count of 1 minute. Don't forget to breathe. If 1 minute's too hard, remember this is strong Hatha. So if you can't do a whole minute, go to 30 seconds. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out slowly and count in your head the breaths or count to 60. Open out the chest. Try and bring that hand further back. Last 10 seconds. Now come back down as we taught you earlier to a downward dog. Stretch the legs away, lengthen elbows, shoulders, walk through your heels. Pedal pushes to stretch. Feel the work through the back, push the head towards the knees, and when you feel ready, lower the heels. Breathe in and out deeply. Now we're going to get easier here. Those with poorly knees, this one will be a challenge for you. So I'm going to give you an alternative so you don't have to put the knee on the floor. This is gently into a seated lunge. Now I'm going to show you here, I'm going to encourage my back leg forwards. So if you have poorly knees, just stay here. Extended lunge there, and then bring the head up to stretch upper body and midriff. Those that don't have a problem with the knee, we're going to go onto the knee and stretch the arms to the ceiling, but then arch through the back. Now if you've got a poorly back, you're not leaning. So back to the alternative, stay here. This is an uncomfortable situation, a little bit on the back leg, but better than kneeling on the knee. So remember, this is your alternative, which I showed you first. This is the progression. All the alternatives staying there if the knee or back is sore. But now stretch upper body and elbows. Gosh, that feels so good on my lower back. Now, to advance to all of this, you come up to a lunge. This is the hardest stretch. So if you want to get stronger, try this. We're holding for 30 more seconds. Don't forget to breathe. Now come down and change legs. Encourage the leg further forward. So remember, this is the alternative or the easiest stretch. Feeling the legs, lengthening through the hamstrings and quads. When balanced, the harder progression is to here and bending or taking the knee to the floor if you don't have a knee problem. So again, strong Hatha, extended lunge hold, 60 seconds. Breathe in, breathe out, and make sure the elbows are straight, not bending. Feel the work through the rib cage and back. Halfway. Now those extended legs into coming down here with the lunge. Bring both legs together to finish. Those in seated lunge here do the same. And so coming down, stretch gently into the knees if there's no problem. And lengthen the forehead down with arms in front. Now if you're still having knee problems, don't go on them. Downward dog will do. Alright, so you've got two different cool downs there. Stretching again, either here into an extended child's pose or staff pose, or then if you've got knee problems, stretch through the back. This is really good to lengthen elbows and shoulders. Now we're going to walk the feet up. We're going to work to strengthen knees again. So don't come up yet. Draw the head towards the knees and place the hands around the calves. I'm going to try and straighten the knees. Can you see them bending and straightening? It's difficult with these trousers, sorry. I thought it would be easier for me to move today. And then nose down towards the knees. Watch your balance. Or place the hands, if you feel unbalanced, over the feet. And then try and straighten the knees and tuck in the head. Stay in there for a count of 60 counts. All breaths 10. Try and straighten the knees. Can we draw the head closer to the knees? Now slowly bend them to come up slightly shorter than 1 minute. Now please don't rush or you will go dizzy. When ready, relax the shoulders and lift the chin. Now we're going to go into balance. We did this kind of a little earlier. Draw a deep breath in from here, taking the arms to the ceiling. There are 3 alternatives now into Uttanasana or tree. Either balance with one foot holding against the other or place it on the other foot. There are 2 other progressions for this. The hands could come down if the shoulders are still hurting, but fabulous for upper body. And then the other alternative is heel to the inside of the thigh or to the calf. So choose where is best for you. Once you are there and wherever you choose to be, hold the balance into prayer hold and turn out the knee before you advance, watching your balance. Remember the heel should be above or below the knee as to not hurt the knee. And then again, I'm staying there for 1 minute, so I'm counting my breaths, 10 to 12, lengthening through the sides of my elbows or counting to 60 counts. Now if you find it too much on the knee, then bring the foot lower down. Concentrating on something or staring at something to spot at will allow you to stay there longer, so don't forget to breathe once you're holding. Don't forget to breathe. Now remember the work on the shoulders. If the shoulders get too much, you're just coming down to prayer hold. Listen to your breathing. Remember to thrust the hips forwards. This will help you stay there longer. Change legs, well done. Now pedal pushers are required here before you go to the other leg. You know, can I just add, it's so nice to have all of you watching. You know, sometimes I really feel that I'm talking to myself or the camera, but you know, just seeing you out there joining in just gives me a little bit of a boost, because you know, mentally I'm struggling with you, so can't wait to get back to work. It is what it is. Let's go back to tree. Think of your balancing, think of your breathing patterns. Don't forget your breathing, listen to the breathing pattern. The arms hurt, go to Namaste or prayer hold. Ten counts. Hands to Namaste, come out, pedal pushes here with the legs, well done. Now we're going to go into all 3 warrior poses now. So bringing the legs out to the side. These Virabhadrasanas are very good for your knees and also for the stretching of the waistline, back and arms. So if you're struggling with these areas, concentrate on the breathing pattern to allow you to strengthen these areas. Turning the left foot first to the side, bend through the knee. Now if you get to there and you think, oh, my knee's not good, stay there, okay? For those that can progress, I'm going to take mine further away because obviously I'm used to this and my legs can take the strength. This will target your thigh. Now before we start, look at where your knee is. Turn it away so it's in line with your toes. Yes? And then turn out the hips slightly. Back leg is straight, knees straight. The strengthening is of the front knee. So we're going to pulse through that. And I'm going to go to Virabhadrasana 1 by turning the hips forwards and taking the arms forwards, but try and keep the fingers parallel. And then stay there again, 60 counts. Or deep breaths for 10, in through the nose and out through your mouth slowly. The alternative is to pulse the knee if you find it's just not comfortable or it hurts, or bring the arms down if it's more comfortable. The progression is arms up. Elbows should be straight though, back should be nice and straight. Should feel the quadricep muscles on the back leg. And of course on the front to protect and strengthen the front knee. Can we go lower? Progress it if you can. Ten more counts. I know there are a lot of instructors out there that get you to count every minute, but honestly, in your head is just as good. And everyone counts different seconds. Now you should feel a nice warming in the front thigh. So we're going to move that leg first by straightening it. Well done. Walk them in slightly. Turn the other one. Are we ready? So the hips follow the knee. Remember what I said earlier, turning the knee out in line with your toes. And then hip forwards. Arms in front. Now this is the first stage. If this is boring or difficult, bring the arms down or bring it up to progress and work through the back and the hips. Now the further out the twist is on the hips and waist, the better we strengthen the back. The further down you go, the better you strengthen the front knee. Don't forget to breathe, go lower. Pulse through it till you get there. Now to advance from this position, bring the back arm down to reach for the foot and bring the other arm to the ceiling to a triangle hold. This stretching through the chest and your back. So this is a nice stretch after all the hard work in Virabhadrasana 1. Again, 1 minute. Notice here my front knee is bent. Can we go lower by bending through the knee or to the floor? Now bring the upper arm down to place the hand either side of the foot to hold for 2 breaths, to release that stretch. Walking round the other leg, repeat the last exercise again, so hand either side of the foot to release the back. Bringing the hand over the foot, stretch the back arm now opposite again to that leg, or straighten the leg if you can't bend the knee. So work on the knee basically, wherever's comfortable, or come down lower. Bending through the knee will stretch the hamstring on the front knee and also lengthen the back leg. Or if you want to progress both legs straight, by all means do. Depends on the knee. Doing really well today, working really hard, upper arms and in the knees and legs. Good for your back too though, because if you're sitting around for long periods of time, working on computers or having to do phone calls, the back doesn't stretch fully. These exercises will bring you out of that seated position and work into the muscles that don't move very much. Also, if you're stressed, it's really nice for the body to fully stretch and release your stress. So coming up from here, gently bend through the knee first, walk the feet in. We're nearly there. We've worked hard today, but we are going to keep going. So turning the left foot again, bending through the knee. This time bring the arms up into a second Virabhadrasana and push down. So all we're going to do is just hold here. However, the neck is going to feel a stretch for the arms, so make sure the arms aren't one on top of the other and parallel, and turn the chin over towards the left hand or arm, and then bring the knee down, depending on the knee, remember. You might want to pulse through if you feel that the quads are not strong enough. The rest of us that have strong knees and quads, we're going to stay there for another 40 seconds. Don't forget to breathe in and out. Remember, the back stays straight. I'm going to go lower, don't worry if you can't, but I like to get a bit more through the back leg. Just watch the back arms not drop in. Ten more seconds, can we go lower? Now turn that left foot in as we go to the right, arms aren't moving. Working on the knees on your right leg. Remember, neck is twisting fully to look at your arm. 60 seconds here. Now your arm's going to be feeling a little tired at this point, yes? Especially from all the shoulder work that we did at the very beginning of class. Let's see if we can go lower. Now last exercise here, just bring that back leg in, bring both arms forwards, and we're going to finish with balance. This is Virabhadrasana 3. Watch the leg you're on, go and hold something if you know you can't balance very well. Deep breath in, you're going to bring that leg up, watch the arms forwards, watch your balance and stretch, looking towards the hands and lengthening in that position. Now back leg should be straight and in line with your shoulders, but this may be a challenge for some of you. Now I'm just going to do 30 seconds on each leg here because balance is really difficult. You can do 1 minute. I'll take my hat off to you when I see you. down. Well done. One more exercise. Turning the left foot. Deep breath in. Should be lovely and warm now though. And lift. Find your balance. Virabhadrasana 3. Can we bring the shoulders higher? Can the leg come higher? 10 more seconds. Don't forget to breathe. Legs together. Well done. Shoulder rolls back. Now your legs will tingle for a while from the strengthening of the muscles this morning. However, you will feel stronger by tomorrow. You may even ache in the knees and thighs. Now, bring the hands behind you to fully cool down. Working upper arm and body. Draw those cupping shaped hands interlocked down. Lift the chin and pull back the shoulders. From the side, looks like this, yes? Chin up and hold for 4 counts only. 4 deep breaths. Now lift up the hands. 4 more breaths. And higher again if you can, 4 more breaths. Now drop the hands, but bring the elbow across the hand and encourage that elbow with the other hand to push towards the opposite shoulder. Really good to stretch the bicep in the front of the arm. Other arm. So hands should be resting on the shoulder blade. Now to finish, roll the shoulders forwards, relaxing the arms, and have a wonderful day. Namaste.